then a couple people here in attendance. So I feel like, yeah, we'll have a very kind of casual discussion. I think that's always best to kind of get the back and forth, and some people that have questions too, or want to maybe dive deeper into some stuff. But the Spring into Tech panel, obviously we just want to talk about best apps, best technology to put to use to kind of leverage your business and make yourself more effective for your clients, and just, to win more deals and be kind of provide the best unique client experience. So I think we'll kind of just go back and forth. Irene and myself we'll go over the ones that we like best, and then I'm sure there will be probably some of you that have some suggestions as well. Like even the one Irene, we were just talking here kind of right before we started about one of the ones she used. So I'm just curious to see some of the responses and what everyone has. Just making sure.
They'll be able to see you through this. They won't.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Beautiful. All right. Awesome. That actually helps. Yeah. So you want to go over one and then I'll go next?
Yeah.
And then.
Well, I do really want to just keep this kind of informal.
Yeah.
I use obviously my phone for a lot of things, and, having some apps on here or adding some that maybe you didn't even know still existed is really helpful. So obviously one of them that really helps me, I have, it's called Genius Scan, and you're able to actually scan documents. So if I'm at a showing and it's the first time with the client and I get my consumer guide signed, I scan it into here. And I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it'll pull up, but it actually scans it. It scans it as a PDF, and then I can just email it to myself or email it directly into Loop, and the signature is already there. But you can do it with any one of your documents. You literally you hit, I don't know if you can see it. You're just going to want to hit this plus button. You can see that. And then you just literally put it down on the sheet of paper. It'll turn a yellow or orange when it goes right over that sheet of paper. You just hit click and it's already scanned in there. And then you can, I don't know if you can see it, you can keep them in here. So you have it as a reference at all times, or, you can email it to yourself and then just delete it out of the app. But for me, I find that very helpful. I know Paul and I were talking, Paul does something very similar. If you've got Notes, the Notes app on your phone, I'll let Paul explain that part of how he scans documents into his phone.
Perfect. Yeah. It's almost the exact same thing. It's, in the Notes app on iPhones, you open the app, and similar to how Irene said, a little, like you use your camera from your phone, you kind of hold it right over the document and it pulls up that yellow kind of, that it's working and taking the image, and then it automatically creates the PDF. So I don't know how I would do things without that app right now. I use it so often for to digitize all my documents. If it's not sitting in Loop, it's sitting on my phone or ready to be emailed to myself or something like that. So different apps to use. Before I used to use, there's several ones. So you use Genius Scan, right?
This one's called Genius Scan. I got a free version. I've had it for several years. You may have to pay for that app currently. I'm not sure on that, but to me, it's really helpful. And what was I going to say? It's easy if you need to really quickly get documents to any of your clients. You can just email them right there. So it makes everything, to me, just really easy.
Yep.
I have a question. Paul, how do you scan from your notes?
Go to your Notes app, pull it up.
Yeah.
And then hit, I think it's can I use my phone?
Yeah. I was going to say, here's Notes.
Oh, cool. All right.
Oh, but I'm in different folders.
So once you click Notes, you hit the bottom right where it's the little pad and paper pen.
Right.
Click that, and then click the camera. the camera icon.
Oh, wait, I don't see that.
It should be like across the bottom, Mindy.
It goes
know-
right to my keyboard.
It might be, which iPhone do you have? Is it 10 or above?
Uh-huh.
Okay, it should work then.
Mindy, I don't know if you can see this. So it's down. It's,
I don't have it. It's
Huh.
not on my iPhone.
What's that?
do you,
That's what I have. Oh, you can't see because of my
Um,
background.
you know, if you go, you should be able to go into your actual settings, Mindy.
Maybe if I do it like, wait,
If you go
No.
into your actual phone settings and just
Right.
make sure that Notes has access to your camera.
Yes.
okay, I'll look, but that's weird that it's not there. Okay,
Yeah, we had a couple people here mention too. Yeah, enable your camera for that specific app. So Genius Scan, Notes, and then the one I used to use before I started.
Wait, could you just go back and finish how you do it for those of us who do have the little camera?
Yeah, for Notes. Okay.
For sure. You click the camera, and then it'll give you a couple options pop up,
Yep.
and one of them says scan. You see that?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep. And then if you want to test it, just put down a sheet of paper on your desk.
Oh, but that's not scanning the note that was in there. I thought it would scan the note that was in there.
No, this is for like external pieces of paper that,
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
you're out. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much any like physical document, it will turn it into a PDF.
Okay, so you take a picture of the document.
You don't even have to take a photo of it. Until it shows you that it's like that it has the image that you want. It'll show that yellow kind of shaded area above the document that you're doing.
Julie, you're gonna have to, with both this and Genius Scan, you have to kind of hover over it, and you'll see it tries to fit the document in a square or in a,
Yeah.
half by 10, and it'll change color. For Genius Scan, it turns orange. For Notes, it'll turn yellow. And when you get that, you can, you just hit the picture button and it'll take. Now you can, if
Okay.
it doesn't have a color, like if you, like I know with Genius Scan, I'll show you what it looks like. If you don't get the document right in that color area, it'll still take a picture, but I don't know if you can see this. I've got the,
It'll have like a border around it.
it's got like a granite, because I laid it down on a kitchen counter. So, but if you actually get the color on it, it scans the entire document. So all you
Okay, and then
the document.
it keeps it in your notes
And
then.
it'll trim it, yeah. So
Yeah.
so basically it looks cleaner when you're emailing it.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, great, thank you.
yeah. So that's the Genius Scan. I mean, some of you may know this, some of you may not know this. There is actually an app for showing time. So
Everyone should be using it.
I don't know. I mean, to me,
It saves a ton of time.
It does save a ton of time. So it'll show you, it's got a drop-down menu, but it'll show you, like if you're on the run and want to request a showing right away, like something just came up as you're out already showing, you can request it right from the app. If you go to, it'll show all the past showings that you did, but if you just click on it, it pulls up and, well, this is a past one. It'll actually let you click on the details for the showing. So it'll automatically pull in the lockbox code number. It'll tell you where the lockbox is located on the house.
So much easier because typically you get an email that kind of gives you
Right.
that the access information. And I can't tell you how in the past I used to fumble in like, wait, which email? Like,
Mhm.
especially too if you're going not every area you go to has the best cell phone reception.
Mhm.
So I've noticed I've never had issues with the app.
Yeah.
And if I know I'm going into a place that has a little bit of maybe spotty cell phone service, like I'll just screenshot capture the access details right from the showing time app.
Yeah.
Like once I get in the car, boom, I click the showing time app, what's the access details, take a quick screenshot.
Mhm.
And that way, like no matter what, I have the access details. The
Right.
worst thing is get to somewhere and like not be able to
Right.
access
Right.
the info about how to get in.
But it's got location, so it's
Mhm.
like you can view a map of where it is. You can get directions if you're in the car and need directions to get to that next showing or to that particular house. You can add it to the calendar, your calendar. If you use Google Calendar or Outlook or whatever, it'll add it to that. So to me, that's very helpful.
For listings, it's good too. Just having the, if appointments are required for your clients, your listing clients,
Mhm.
to know that something's coming in, you get the notifications immediately to your phone.
Mhm.
Sometimes if they're at work, they're not noticing it. It's if things are, you got to make stuff happen quick. I'll text my sellers and say, hey, did you see that the request came in for tonight? Did you happen to see?
Mhm.
Like it just keeps you just on top of it, right? If on listings, you know exactly what's going on, how many requests there are, if your
Mhm.
sellers are accepting the showings.
Yeah.
And then also on the ones you've requested, just seeing kind of like your schedule, right? It's nice to see if you have a packed day and maybe a couple different clients you're showing homes to see like what is on the schedule,
Yeah.
I've even screenshotted like if they decline it, right? Sometimes buyers are frustrated because it's like they're trying to see all these homes and it's like, no, I'll screen capture and send it to them like they declined it,
Yeah.
just so it's just nice seeing it all right there. I think I do 90% of my scheduling through the phone now as opposed to from the laptop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everyone should have the showing time app. Definitely.
Yeah. So I use that.
Mhm.
Obviously, if your phone or if your car doesn't have a GPS system, I've got VZ Navigator. So, I use, navigation directly off my phone, which is helpful. And then I don't know how many on the call today actually are Zillow users or, get Zillow leads. But, there's a Premier Agent as well.
That's a good app.
So it gets all your contacts into the system for you. You can click on any of them. And obviously it tells you when they contacted you. It'll keep, if you set an appointment, it tells you a little bit about everything from your Zillow contacts. So,
and it'll show which property they first came in on,
yes,
or at least, are interested in.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
You can put notes in there, that sort of thing. And then it depends on, the other one I use is Brivity. The Pullman team uses Brivity as a CRM. So, I've got a Brivity app that, again, I can do anything on the go with my Brivity leads, with all my Sphere. I can do it right on my phone. If I'm traveling and I know I need to make a really quick call or do something, there are several CRMs that obviously have their own apps that you can use. So, if there's something that you're using, just make sure that, you check the app store that there's a app for that as well.
Yep.
And then one other thing that I find useful, I know some of you ladies, and I'm not excluding the men, but sometimes you're going to go to an open house or you're going to go to a showing and you've not met your client or you're going to meet them there for the first time. There's an app you can use and it's called Glimpse. And if you're going somewhere by yourself and you're not kind of sure how you feel about that showing or whatever, and you're by yourself, what Glimpse does is you can send your phone number. So I would text my number to say Mindy, here's where I'm going to be, and you put in the address. And then Mindy just clicks on it once she gets that email, and she can see exactly where I'm at. She can see that I am at that open house, or I am,
Mhm.
showing a house that I said I was going to show, and that my phone and myself are physically there. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like just a little safety thing. If, you find yourself out and about all day, and, there's some areas obviously that, you feel better in than other areas. So,
Yeah.
that's another app that I use, and I'm sure
It's a good
there's
one.
several types of apps like that as well.
Yep. Most
So,
definitely.
so that's those are really the ones I really use. Obviously, there's Zoom for your phone. So if you're showing and you need to be on
Yeah,
a
no,
Zoom
good
call,
one. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
you can take it right on your phone if you're driving and you've got your phone,
Yeah.
up in your car. They can see you. You can still see who's on Zoom. You can still speak. You can mute yourself. You can do all those things, but it's just on your phone.
Yeah, someone mentioned recently, and I love the idea, because we find ourselves zooming a lot more these days, that if you have something that it's not necessarily like a listing appointment on Zoom, but if you have something that's kind of like a weekly thing with your team, or that it's a little more casual, like you could take a walk around your neighborhood while you're zooming. You know what I mean? As
Yeah.
opposed to necessarily being tied to like your laptop or desk. Or now it's busy season, right? So if you're driving somewhere but like want to listen in and still have the video on or off. So in general, I love the Zoom app too. Just like I find myself using it more
Yeah.
and more because we Zoom so much now.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So didn't mean to take over this
No,
call.
that's perfect.
I'll turn it over to you.
See some ones I like. I love I mentioned it a couple times in the past, the Mile IQ. I believe there's other mile trackers. I implemented it 3 years ago, and it's just so time consuming at the end of the year during tax time. You can classify all your drives, so by personal or business, and you can get even down super, super detailed and granular if you wanted to. I do mine super basic, where I just do personal business, but you can take it as far as like it will know like if you do that route to automatically put it as business or personal. So you can go real detailed with it, or just swipe left for personal, right for business. And every year I just print out the PDF and I email it to my accountant. That's it. Takes 5 minutes. And it runs, I always just allow the app to run not like while I'm using the app. So in the background, you have an option of just it always being tracking. So anytime you're in the car, it'll track your miles. Super great. That one, I believe that one's like $49 for the year or something, but I think there might be, don't quote me on it, but I think there might be ones that are cheaper or free, but I like Mile IQ. What do you have on?
Well, the only other one, and you get it through the MLS, is you don't see them so much in the Cleveland area, but if you're out showing like Akron and Canton, most of the agents there that list homes have the Supra lockbox. So you get certified through the MLS. There's a class you can take online.
I think it's pretty quick too.
It is pretty quick. I think it's less than an hour. And then you can download the app to your phone. And basically you need the app while you're out there showing, because you need to go from your phone on the Supra app. You point it at the lockbox to unlock it. So it's always good to have. Like I said earlier, Cleveland, they probably should use them more than they do, but everyone's still kind of on lockbox mode is what I've seen in the Cleveland area. But I have shown homes down closer to Akron and Canton, and there are a lot more Supra boxes down there being used.
Yep. Yeah. I remember when they go in like waves when people use Supra. I remember like 10 years ago, it's like I couldn't get in a house without Supra, and now it's like it went back to lockboxes, and now I'm starting to see it more.
Yeah.
Another one I like to use, and this will start rolling around more when more and more open houses come, like when that starts becoming more of a thing this summer, is there's an app called Open House. So instead of having a pad of paper digital database, right? So you can have a sign in for people. I think the best way typically is if you have an iPad, just to have
yeah.
it set up somewhere,
Yeah.
and they put their name in, email, and then like how soon do you need to move, and then it'll just keep track of all those right in there.
Mhm.
I guess, a little different. You could do a notepad and paper as well. But if you had like a little hand sanitizer there with your iPad,
Mhm.
again, you don't want like people don't just like leave your iPad there for someone to take it, but
Right.
but like put it in the kitchen when you're
Yeah.
kind of there. So that's a good one. And then another one is I just used it last night. Canva, the app, Canva. It allows you to create real nice, pristine, crisp looking graphics.
Mhm.
I use them for Instagram, Facebook. You could do flyers, but super, super simple. Totally self-explanatory. I hadn't made a design on there for several months, and it took me like 15 minutes yesterday, and it came out great.
Well, Canva also, once you get, if you've not used Canva before, Canva also has templates. So
yeah,
if you
huge.
want to make
Mhm.
a banner for your Facebook page, it's already set up. You just hit Facebook banner. If you want to do a Facebook post, there's a separate template for that, and it automatically creates it at the exact size that you need it. So there's a lot of different things. If there's Twitter, there's, if you want to do an Instagram post, they have
Mhm.
all these templates on there that are already sized accordingly. And all you do is just, click on the template, and then you can start designing your design on it
Mhm.
right then.
Perfect. Love that.
I'm trying to think what else. The other one I've used before. Certainly you can now mass text people through command, but there is an app, and it's called Hit 'em Up.
Mhm. Good one.
And what that does is it'll upload all your contacts, and there is a charge for Hit 'em Up. It depends on how many texts you want to send per month. So I think the least amount is 300, and it goes up from there. But it's
Mhm.
only, I think the most expensive is like $10 or $12 a month for it. But what you can do is very similar to texting through command. You can get all your contacts in, you can put them in a group, you can group them how you want to, and then, you can send out a mass email. You can set it up in there where it'll automatically pull in their first name. It'll put your name in there. Again, a little bit of, setting up, especially with the groups, but
Yep.
If you want to mass text for a holiday, like wishing everyone a happy 4th of July, you can do that. And it's fairly simple. It's right on your phone. And as long as you've got everything set up ahead of time, it's easy to go ahead and group text that way.
It's a good one. I've used that one quite a bit.
Um,
There's a slide dial, like it's on the same kind of theme as that, slide dial, which that will automatically leave a voicemail for anyone and it'll show up it won't show up as a missed call. It'll just show up as a voicemail.
Oh, okay.
So I think we were, as agents, we're so used to calling people and leaving voicemails and stuff. There are those times where maybe you're in a rush, or you're doing like a mass thing that you want to reach several people. You don't have the time. Maybe you don't have the half hour to call those people. Slide dial, you will literally leave a voicemail. It'll record it, and it'll send it to that person as a voicemail without calling them. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that one, similar like to Hit 'em Up, right? It's like a way of contacting people.
Yeah.
In mass.
How do you spell that? SLY?
SLYDIAL.
Okay.
And that's the type of things that I use a lot of.
I would say too, also download, right now we're still all using .loop. You definitely should be using the app as well. I can't tell you, especially in this type of fast-paced market, how many times I've had to be like while I'm on the fly on the road to hop in there and do something. Before, I remember I would always be like, okay, when I'm getting back to my laptop, when I get back there, I'll do something on dot loop.
Mhm.
And then once I started like implementing where I'm logging into dot loop on my phone, it was just like I wasn't so tied to the like my location.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good one.
You know, obviously Kelly, um,
Kelly, the KW consumer app, or I've said it before, HomeSnap as well. Something that like
Mhm.
when your clients forward you homes or you're forwarding them homes via text, where it looks good and where you can see the house. Like sometimes I notice like when my clients send me a link
Mhm.
on some of the apps they're using, whether it's, I notice like on realtor.com, like I don't see anything. It's just like a link, right?
Mhm.
The reason why I like HomeSnap is it shows the nice front photo of the house, and that shows like the beds, bath, and then the square feet,
Mhm.
which is so kind of like when they're at work or something, they see it, it's a little more inviting
Mhm.
than just getting a link with like a long www.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I don't know. I guess I'm going to open up to you guys. Is there something you guys are using that you would think would be helpful for the rest of the market center that we didn't mention?
I'm looking at
You
some other
can
ones
put it
too.
in the chat box if
Yeah.
so, or unmute yourselves.
When I had an admin, we were using Dropbox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I like,
Dropbox is great, especially in our industry. We have these huge files we're sending.
Mhm.
Dropbox is great.
Yeah.
That allows you to send back and forth really gigantic files. So it's easy to email stuff like that back and
Mhm.
forth.
And one of the other things is on the iPhone, they have something called Measure. I don't know if you guys have used that, but you could actually, if you're at a home and someone says, well, how big is this room?
That's
you
awesome.
can kind of measure it, but
Hmm.
it also has got a level on there too. So if you're ever doing, trying to hang a picture somewhere or helping
That's
to
great.
stage a house or even at your own home, there's a level that you can put your iPhone on it and it'll tell you whether that item is level or not.
Which other one? Yeah, it's a good one. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah. So,
it'll also tell you which direction it has a compass. So, that question in the MLS, which direction does the house face?
yeah.
There's a compass and you can tell what direction.
Yeah.
I'm also obsessed with all my emails I use for Gmail. So my KW email, my Trip Team email, all my emails are Gmail. And I'm not saying everyone's is, but like most people have iPhones, not everyone, it doesn't matter if you do or don't. But people that have iPhones sometimes tend to use like the mail app that's just like that comes with your phone. I use the Gmail app.
Oh,
I think it's like more functional. It more feels like my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm not saying like if you are happy with if you have Yahoo, Hotmail, whatever it is, it's fine. I'm saying all my emails are through Gmail, and I use the Gmail app because it's super seamless.
Yeah.
I like it, and it's all in one place where I can. I just like the functionality and the user interface a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then everyone should definitely have all the social media apps downloaded to their phone.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, Instagram.
I was going to say, if there's a
LinkedIn.
mortgage company that you use a lot of times they have their own apps.
Super important.
And you can go on there and, if you're with a client, you can plug in what the home is, the price of the home.
I've used that often.
Yeah.
That is a really good idea. Like, really good idea. Because, and I would have totally forgot to say that. And a lot of lenders have their own, so you can use, and but they almost to a few dollars can nail home what their monthly payment will be.
Right.
If you're at, all of a sudden they love a house and they're like, man, this is at the top of our budget. I've literally like, while they're saying that, I've hopped on the app and I'm like, okay, they're conventional 30-year. And I know like what their planning on putting down money,
Yeah.
money down wise, and the taxes show right on your app that you use to
Mhm.
view the home,
Yeah.
put that in there, and I'll literally be like, guys, like you're at $1,500. They're like, what? Like,
Yeah.
really? You know, and it's like, you know, I'm not your lender, but you could expect with all of this at this price to be right around there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
you could at least kind of hone that in. I find myself using that quite a bit.
Yeah, Janice said she loves her notes. I
Yep.
should have gotten to that a little earlier. So Janice uses the
Mhm.
notes.
Yep.
So,
All right, I'm trying to think of anything else.
all right. I don't know.
I mean, those are pretty awesome ones that if you start implementing those, you'll be a lot more productive.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say too, and again, this is something I've got on my phone if I need it. If you're showing houses in an area that you're unfamiliar with and you're running out of gas, there's Gas Buddy, and it'll tell you like how far away you're from a gas station. It'll give you directions. It'll tell you, you know, who's got the least expensive gas in the area. But you know, in a pinch, if you're, like I said, someplace that you're not familiar with and you need to get gas or you need to stop somewhere, you can hit Gas Buddy.
It's good.
And it'll pull it up.
In our coaching group, there was a couple other ones that they had us download or as possibilities. One is Agent Watch, and I think it's another one of those like security if you're
Yeah.
in a rough area or whatever, you're
Yeah.
not comfortable. And then there was another one called Real Safe Agent.
Okay.
I've heard of that one. Yep.
Casey recommended those to us.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cam Scanner is another one to scan documents.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice. And Garrett just mentioned here, which is so true, is the Google Calendar app. I would just get like Google Drive on your phone and just have all the Google apps on your phone, because like through the market center and when you're making more and more appointments, it's nice to have that, like when the market center is making something that's for everybody, like it'll show up on your calendar as well. So that's important. That's a good one.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really what the different apps that I've used.
Yeah.
So just, you know, I guess we can open it up to questions. Anybody have questions on anything?
There's one more design one that I like. It's called Word Swag, SWAG. That's similar to Canva, but more like kind of use more words on it. Like I feel like when you do like just listed or under contract or sold, you know, when people post on social media, I feel like Word Swag is a little better to make those images than Canva is, but they're both good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys, if nobody has any questions.
The Starbucks app? No.
Yeah, no, Starbucks for sure. If you're out all driving all day, even up early.
Yeah.
So yeah, so thanks you guys for joining us today. If you have any questions, just reach out to either Paul or myself, and we're happy to help.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.
Got it?